I'm often asked about relatives in a 1031 exchange. And the questions that I normally get are things like, can I sell to a relative in an exchange? Yes, you can sell to anybody in a 1031 exchange, just as long as you've held it according to the proper times, that you don't get the money from it, that it goes to a QI, and that your intent, of course, is to hold the next property for investment also. So, next question would be, can I buy a property, for instance, for my son and have him live there while he's in college? Yes, if he pays market rent and your property is truly held for investment, and you will show evidence of that on your tax return. And maybe he might even have some friends join him in the rental. So yes, this relative could rent your property. Another question I sometimes get is, can I acquire my parents' beach house in a 1031 exchange? Well, that's another question. You know, their parents may be are considered relatives, and it may not be considered an arm's length transaction. So I'd sure get tax help on that one. Another question that I get is, what if I sell my property to my cousin and then buy another property from my cousin? Well, and that's, of course, would be in an exchange, a 1031 exchange. And then the questions would be, is this truly arm's length, or are you doing this exchange to mutually avoid taxes? So be careful on that kind of a transaction, that you are not buying and selling with the same entity. Sometimes I get a question like, can I buy out of my corporation another property in my corporation? Another not so good situation, because it might be considered a related party. I'm Maxine Golden, your 1031 exchange lady, giving you tips on how you might save capital gains taxes on the sale of your property and acquisition of another one, and also pay attention to the depreciation that you may or may not have taken, because that will be taxable. And watch the next video for more tips.